say something like crazy.
Welcome back, guys, to Remax episode 31, part 2. Yeah, I messed up the overlay during the break. Sorry about that. Yeah, Zombie Rob, I unmodded you because you caused chaos a few weeks ago. I'll mod you again. Never again will you cause chaos with Morrow and Naniwa in my chat. Anyhow, so Blizzard announces community stream awards. I don't know if that's the wording that they're using, but basically you can vote for your favorite StarCraft stream, a new category which is favorite new StarCraft streamer, and then you have the favorite StarCraft community show of 2014. I mean, if you want to vote for us, it's all up to you, you know?
I honestly, I would be very upset if we didn't win it. I would be so disappointed in the community. Not because I feel like our show's like fucking amazing or anything, just the fact that we're the only show that is still doing stuff on a consistent basis that's popular. The only other show that does consistent stuff is Lycan Show, but our show is more popular and, in my opinion, slightly better. If not just
so
better.
let's just go down the list. So we have for the community show we have the Day 9 Daily, we have Meta, hello, we have Remax, we have the Late Game, and we have Unfiltered. Now,
yeah, like Day 9 has like for a while now been moved to Hearthstone and other games. Meta, like even when Meta was fucking happening, it wasn't happening. Like, it was like once a month, once every 2 months or something, even when it was like actually on the air. Remax, obviously, we've been pretty fucking consistent, have been doing a lot of stuff and plan to continue to do stuff. The Late Game is probably the only other consistent show that's still running, but it's like, in my opinion, a slightly worse version of our show. No offense to Lycan, of course. And Unfiltered, I thought that was like 2013. The fuck?
didn't they? Yeah, they died and he stopped like around Christmas, no?
I thought so, but I don't know.
And Mo, who would you vote for, by the way?
Well, maybe normally I would vote for Remax, but Remax has been coming on so late lately. Like, I was waiting and I bet like it was like 10 minutes late today, so I'm kind of disappointed. And I'm just, the biggest Day 9 fan. I hope it comes back to StarCraft 2. I think I would vote for it.
I knew asking Morrow would give us an answer like that. Favorite new streamer in 2014? Breaker, Journey92, Fantasy, Outlaw GG.
Who the fuck is Outlaw GG?
He's a cannon rusher that's like worse.
Oh
He's
my
not
God.
very good. Parting Big Boy, Saskree, Rain, and Sulky.
I think it's pretty obvious it's
The
going to be
party.
between Parting, Rain, and Sulky.
Yes.
And I think mainly Parting or Rain. And I think Parting's like the way favorite. Because, like, out of Parting, Rain, and Sulky doesn't do it enough. Rain is consistent, but he's fucking boring as shit. Like everybody always says, all he does is, like, he wins a game, goes to chat, types GG, searches again. Gets a new game, wins or loses, goes to chat, types GG. There's no cam, there's no, like, talking,
Yeah,
there's
we want to
just,
see
like...
those beautiful lips, man.
Parting, he, like, fucking, like, almost loses a warp prism. He starts, like, oh, fuck. Like, in his, like, broken English, he, like, talks to chat, he, like, trolls people, he insults a velo, he plays, like, all kinds of crazy music, he has cam up, he does it pretty consistent. Like, he's by far the most popular and most likely to win that.
Next up, we have the favorite individual streamer in 2014. Now, there's a few people missing. Base Trade, the biggest. I mean, it says individual streamer, but like,
Yeah,
where do you put? Because
that's a weird line. Because they're not, it's not, like, then you would have to link, like, Rifkin. It's not Base Trade, then it's Rifkin and there's Zombie Grub, because they stream individually.
But I feel like Base Trade deserves an award. Like, where would StarCraft be without Base Trade?
I mean,
don't think they don't belong on this list because this is like
Yeah.
streamer when you stream ladder, not a
Yeah.
tournament stream.
Yeah.
Then like
I agree.
TV should be on too.
I agree that they deserve recognition, and if there was a category for like favorite
Like
online
line tournament,
tournament caster,
yeah.
and it's like base trade, take, I don't even know.
Medals,
Yeah, like if
PoE.
they had that
Yeah.
as a category, then yeah, base trade for sure. I'm voting for base trade, but it's the way the categories are set up now. Base trade doesn't really fall into any of these categories. They're not an individual streamer.
Would you replace that category with new favorite or new streamer of 2014?
Yeah, I never liked new favorite because it's like where do you draw the line of as far like it's the weakest category by far because it's got like fucking Breaker and Outlaw GG. They're like struggling to put people on the list. They're like, fuck, we need at least like 8, and they're like, fine, just throw Breaker on there, throw Outlaw GG on there, and it's like these guys aren't even featured on TL. Like, are you fucking kidding me, mate?
Last year they had educational stream and they kept that for Hearthstone.
Yeah, but I feel like they kept it for StarCraft 2 because it was like day 9.
Yeah, they
Who
didn't.
the fuck else even did it? Everybody would just vote for day 9 when he actually.
Last year there was like In Control, the Muslim, Day 9.
I think that's a really weak category as well. I would take out favorite new streamer, and I feel like the point of these awards are to reward people that have like contributed to the StarCraft 2 community and helped it become more popular. And the things that contribute most to that would be individual streamers, which is you have this long list of a lot of people, and a lot of people are missing even, but a long list of people that do regular StarCraft 2 content and stream it and grind it really hard. So I think that's very it needs to be there. And then there you have the community show, which obviously we're biased, but I feel like having these shows help build StarCraft 2 community a lot. So that needs to be there. But then new streamer, it's like kind of an overlap of favorite individual streamer.
Yeah, for sure.
You
And
could
then-
just take those people and put them under favorite individual streamer,
Yeah,
and then add favorite because base trade, take TV, all these like people
like the
that
French
cast, like, the
casters too,
qualifiers.
like
Yeah.
O Gaming.
Gaming or whatever.
Yeah.
They do like without them there would be so much less content. So I do feel like they deserve some kind of recognition, but I don't agree they should be on this individual streamer list.
Yeah.
So
Also, the winner for the first place winners in each category will be taking home $2014. You see what they did there, man?
I do.
Okay.
I'm just gonna tweet because I feel like
But
Yeah.
anyway, going down the list of favorite individual streamer: Avillo, Balloon, Cats, Crank, me, desRow, the Great Panda, Protoss, Pentathos. Anyway, Destiny, Dragon, 4GG, Happy, HuK, In Control, Caitlyn, Livy B, Minigun, Nathanius, Rotterdam, Supernova, TLO, and Winter. Seems like an accurate list. Morrow started streaming late in 2014. It really doesn't make sense that he missed the cut, regardless of that. And yeah, who else is
It's
missing?
bullshit that I'm not on the list.
Yeah.
That's retarded, right?
My man, I never made the list last year. Like, not even for favorite, not even for educational. For 2013, I was so mad. So I know how you feel, man. You should make a riot with your Dolan faces. Occupy
Oh, man, okay, I'm used to it.
instead of Occupy Wall Street, it'd be Occupy BattleNet. Go on a chat channel. But yeah, guys, that's the new thing. Well, it's not new. And also the timing of it is HuK. They post about it in March, like 3 months after 2014 is over. What are your thoughts on that, HuK?
when was it released last year?
Like December.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I think they've just been backed up with so much stuff, and now they're finally like, okay, we got to do this.
Like someone was like, "Hey guys, are we still doing the awards?" And like, "Oh shit!" Like 2 months later, maybe. But yeah, let's move on to Redeye leaves ESL. Now, Redeye has been the only thing that I know that Redeye does is he picks the talent for the events, like which casters and so on. I know he casts a little bit of CS:GO on the side. I don't know if that's with ESL. What are your thoughts about Redeye, HuK?
I mean, obviously he's an amazing host.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really anyone that I know of that, like, I guess Froden is a really good host as well. There's very few hosts that can host as many events as he does. Like, he can host StarCraft 2, he can host CSGO, he can host Hearthstone. He's not specifically doing any game, but he's just very, very good, very comfortable. He has a nice accent. He's really good at speaking. Even if he doesn't know a lot of stuff about in-game stuff, like, I know for me personally, there's been a few awkward moments where he's like, said like, like I'm playing Flash at IEM or something, and he'll be like, did you study Flash's games last week against Life to prepare for this tournament? And I'll be like, well, I played Protoss, so no, not really. That wouldn't help me at all. So he does have those awkward moments, but he's just an
Yeah.
amazing caster.
Yeah, I'm showing right now the time that there was a little bit of drama at Toronto, and he almost
Oh,
got in
host, I
a
mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
Apollo looks so awkward, and QXC is
I'm
just
back.
not moving. That video was so funny.
Apollo is awkward. But
Oh, shots fired.
okay.
Why? Why do you say that?
I just think in like a physical confrontation kind of thing, you either you have it or you don't have it, and I feel like Redeye very much has it, He's
Yeah.
like not afraid at all, and I think Apollo was kind of like, I don't know. It seemed like he was kind of like shying away.
Yeah. He's like, don't fight me, man. Don't fight me. But yeah, Mo, what are your thoughts on Redeye as a host?
I think it's a great host, but I say that slightly just because I haven't really seen many hosts at all in StarCraft 2 that are great.
What about
There's been
that
so
Rachel
so
girl?
few of them.
What?
Rachel, I like barely remember her. That was years ago, man.
That was a bait question anyway. I think she's awful, but go on.
Okay. No, but if I compare him to Frodan, I think Frodan is like way better than Redeye. But that's maybe just because Frodan is so good. Like there's so few hosts to compare to, so it's hard to say whether he's that great or not. But it will be interesting to see who they will have instead of him. And I'm kind of sad that he's leaving.
Yeah. Hopefully he's happy wherever he goes. We'll miss him, that's for sure.
Was there any reason why he was like quitting, or is he done with esports or what?
Um, it doesn't say really.
It would never say anyways. There's never gonna be a time that someone as big as Redeye, unless they fucking develop like a alcohol or drug problem, that they speak out and say the actual reason. Even Robert Olin, who was like pretty much an alcoholic, I would say,
I
or
was
like
made an
some
off. Yeah, listen.
some kind of degen, right? And then even his response was like the most crazy you'll get, where it'd be like these fucking backstabbing people or something. But he would never like actually say all the details behind it. And whenever you get someone that's actually smart, whenever they leave an organization like ESL, they want to leave it on good terms, even if something bad happened or it was actually just him leaving because he didn't want to do it anymore. They're always gonna write like,
Well, he said, I was made an offer to do something else in esport that would still allow me to contribute, but in a different way. And this will be announced soon. And I'm not leaving esports, but it is the right time, I feel, to do something different.
yeah, but
Oh.
even that statement, all that means is he's staying in esports. It from his perspective, it's like saying, I didn't get fired, I wanted something else. But is that the truth? I don't know. You never know.
I think it's gonna host DreamHack Boys.
That would be
Imagine
I
that.
don't that would be really interesting. I feel like he's gonna stay on ESL's payroll as far as like they'll hire him for individual events, but as far as being full time in ESL, he's not going to be. That's what I read through that statement basically.
Mhm.
Because there's certain people that are on ESL staff, and then there's certain people that they hire on a per event basis.
Alright, guys, that concludes every topic there was to talk about this week. Barely an hour. We're gonna go onto the Patreon Collins. Oh, what the hell? If they ever reply, I think they're AFK right now, the Patreon column, because usually the calls are a little bit later. So get on Reddit, guys. We're gonna answer your questions. Let me pull up the thread. Hold on. Alright, let's start with... Do you believe... Oh, wait. No, we talked about Legacy of the Void. There are rumors that says early April, but those are only rumors. We don't know anything else. Thoughts on WCS Premier League format, specifically... What? We talked about this last week. Why are these questions getting upvoted? Why am I getting baited so hard? HuK, now that you're alone and carrying the StarCraft 2 banner for...
Did you not open the last week's thread, maybe?
Oh shit! Is it?
Did you open last week's thread? Are you fucking serious? And you're like, why are these questions the same? We did these last week. Because you fucking opened last week's thread, man. Come on. It's sad. It's honestly sad how as soon as you make mistakes now, I can see through them and be like, God damn it, desRow, did you do that? And you're like, you just start laughing. It's happened so many times now.
Oh
desRow,
my, come on.
man. Pull it together. These are me questioning you is what you have to do internally. Whenever you think this doesn't seem right, think what would HuK think about this, and then question yourself. That way you look less stupid publicly.
Oh, all right. On the last show, Morrow talked about how he prepared for his WCS group. He said that he practiced really hard for like 10 days off stream. The result was obviously really good since he surprised most of the viewers with his win over Hydra in the first match. So my question is, why is it so hard for foreign pros to keep up this level of practice when they don't have to play in an important tournament in their near future?
Well, it's lack of passion, I guess.
What?
Lack of passion.
Lack of passion?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, if I wanted to practice all day, then I would do it. But instead, I'm streaming and trying to get that to work and so on. I used to practice really hard before I started streaming, so...
But what if you were paid more?
Oh, like, as a player?
Yes.
That wouldn't happen. But if I was paid really well to, practice and do well in tournaments, then I would probably, do it.
What if you...
right now StarCraft 2 is really fun. So I could do it. I could practice all day long if I was paid really well. But that's not this StarCraft 2.
I think that's a really big reason, to be honest, because when you look at like when foreigners did well against Koreans, you had at the very early days it was like Idra, me, and then it was like Stefano, and then it was like Nanawa, and then it was like Scarlet. And since those times, Korean pay has like gradually gone up as far as like Kespa teams coming into the scenario, their team houses coming in, them getting good offers. Like Kespa players are by far the highest paid StarCraft 2 players. And then at the same time for the foreign scene, we've been like gradually going down. And as we like one goes up and one goes down, the difference between the skill levels as far as foreigners to Koreans has gotten bigger and bigger. So I think pay actually has a very big part of it.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. That's why I like the league system where it's like the tournament pays you or the organization or whatever,
What do you league system is not. They still get paid in the same way. Depends how popular you are.
Yeah,
but in the league system, it's like nothing even fucking matters. It's whoever's the biggest streamer. Like, as far as pay goes, it would always be better for a pro player to stream 24/7 than be a professional player. Like, it's not even comparable.
Yeah.
People like Nightblue, who's not a pro player, makes a shitload more money than someone like, I don't know, like some random fucking support player that no one's ever heard of that's still on LCS.
Okay. Next question from PCH SC2. Will you talk about science comment about real-time being used for Legacy of the Void? Do we care about this? Real-time instead of StarCraft time? HuK?
I didn't even know that was happening.
Oh.
What'd you say?
Real-time being used for StarCraft 2.
Yeah, I heard it was happening. I think it's just the fact that it makes sense. it's a lot easier just to use real time than use this like arbitrary random fucking time that they use in StarCraft 2.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
All right, moving on. The rest.
Wait, breaking news from StarCraft Twitter. At RiftKings, there is no excuse for not acknowledging at Base Trade TV and all they do. In the future, we will have a tournament stream category. So there you go.
Is that good enough of an answer?
I think so. I think it's too late for them to change everything now. And they're saying next year we'll have it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it would be better. Obviously, I would prefer if they said, we'll look into it and we'll see what we can do. But it's hard to fucking, like, renege on everything they just did and say, like, oh, parting, you just lost $2,000, fuck you, and we're making this new category, you know? So,
Yeah, of course. PCH, the PCH is like obsessed. He's like Dr. Aromi on Twitter, but about the ladder distribution because he's not getting promoted. So I think you just need to let it go, buddy, instead of like harassing Scion on Twitter all day, every day. But will Fantasy win IM Katowice? What do you think of the recent tendency from Korean Terrence and TVP to favor factory openers as opposed to back openers? Small. Why is everyone opening Wintermine? Is it because they're truly OP?
Instead of bio, yeah, it's kind of the meta game right now.
Yeah, because you're
Like,
just gambling your way into killing a fuck ton of probes, right?
Like, why go through that harsh, like 50-minute tough struggle macro game when you can just pick up 2 mines and win the game?
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Can you give us an in-depth analysis of the new maps now that they've been played a lot? No. Sorry.
I like that. I was gonna say, no, we can't. That's way too. What the fuck
Well-
do you think this is?
Well, the thing is, the new maps are gonna get changed very soon because they're pretty much very crappy. The most
Me,
Yeah?
like, let me just do a TLDR because me and Morrow discussed it on break a little bit about the new maps. Everybody said, don't worry about balance. New maps will come and Terran's gonna be a lot weaker. New maps came. Terran's not a lot weaker. Better. Do I think the maps are worse for Terran? It's really hard to say. I think it's almost the same, to be honest. I feel like in different ways, they're better or worse, but I don't feel like Terran all of a sudden became a lot weaker because of the new maps. But as far as new maps, the more that it keeps changing, the better it is for me personally and in general for the game, I think. So I welcome new maps.
Mm-hmm. Talk about the DreamHack circuit and the possibilities of DreamHack picking up Legacy for DreamHack Winter. So the way it's going on right now is DreamHack doesn't have StarCraft as part of their DreamHack Open thing. So like StarCraft is going to be at Valencia and in France and at DreamHack Stockholm. But it's not going to be in London, it's not going to be in Romania, and it's not going to be at summer and winter. So what are our thoughts on that? Here's the link.
I mean, it sucks, obviously. Apparently it's being replaced by Minecraft, and then I asked around, and apparently... What the fuck did I just say? Apparently, the way you play competitive Minecraft is like speedruns or something.
I think that's only for Romania, though.
I was like, what the fuck? Are you serious? What are you smiling about, Morrow?
Because it's so hilarious. I can like see it in front of me. Nano and me was talking about it earlier. Like you sit down and you give like these guys like half an hour and they have to build like the sickest castle in Minecraft. Just build the most beautiful thing and then just have the crowd like vote.
Yeah.
Just the better.
I think...
that
I mean,
esport.
I don't see how... No offense to Minecraft. I think it's a very interesting game, but I don't see...
It's not an esport.
It's not a competitive game. I'm trying to think of something to compare it to in sports. It's like making knitting a professional sport, and you replace like soccer, and you're like, we're gonna have fucking professional knitting. Let's see who can knit the most in 30 minutes, and then we'll vote on the best product. And it's like, okay, I guess knitting's popular and all, but I don't know.
No, but listen. So what's going on is They're obviously picking the locations which are the most popular for StarCraft, so Stockholm, France, and Valencia, and then Romania not really popular with StarCraft. London, the UK scene's not that big anymore. So instead of having 6 events in 2015, we're just gonna have 3. I mean, it's better than 0, right?
Why would we have 0? Like
Yeah.
StarCraft 2 is not a small game. Like we should
Yeah, but they've been
there
struggling
should be
to.
more stuff. Like why would they have Minecraft? That's retarded.
But well, Minecraft is like I think it's only for Romania. It's not listed anywhere for like the DreamHack Open 2015 tour. But the thing is, they've been struggling to like have a good product. Their viewership has been struggling a lot.
Yeah, I understand their decision. I'm not hating them for their decision, but yeah, I don't know what to say. I understand both sides, but fucking Minecraft, man, come on.
Like
Yeah.
I had the StarCraft Brood War on DreamHack Summer and DreamHack Winter.
But
And
DreamHack
let me
was
tell you,
different back.
that was dead game compared to StarCraft 2.
DreamHack back then was very different though, as far as like their goals and what they did.
Yeah, that's what sucks. Like I imagine DreamHack would keep supporting StarCraft
Yeah,
2, even
because
though it couldn't be
StarCraft,
as big.
yeah, StarCraft has been such a, like you said, Brood War was like one of the only things that DreamHack way back when before esports was as big as esports is. And then even when esports became as big as it is, StarCraft 2 was the game for DreamHack that made it as big as it is now today. It was the game that launched it into holding 6 events a year in multiple countries, you know? So
Yeah.
it's sad to see them not support it as much as I felt they should, but at the same time they're a business
Hmm.
and they're gonna do what's best for them. So hopefully when Legacy of the Void comes out they reconsider, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say actually. Great mind thinks alike, Chris.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. They might just be cutting it right now because they imagine like Legacy of the Void coming out and then nobody wants to watch shitty Heart Swarm tournaments.
But at the same time I feel like this is why I keep hoping and pushing for Blizzard to release Legacy of the Void out sooner rather than later, because I feel like if they wait until next year to release Legacy of the Void, it's going to be a big problem because Red Bull, IM, DreamHack, they all have to make their decisions for that year by the beginning of the year, you know? They have to plan what events they're going to do for what games, book places, agree to terms with the gaming companies, the developers, come to deals. And if they wait to release Legacy of the Void until next year and the viewership continues to decline and we continue to play Heart of the Swarm, even if Legacy of the Void beta is out, we won't switch games until Legacy of the Void is officially out. And if they wait until next year, you know, then it's like 1-0 events for DreamHack. IEM might come back. Red Bull might not do any more events. So I feel like to some degree Blizzard needs to be forced into releasing Legacy of the Void sooner rather than later.
Hmm. Yes. Well, we'll see. Oh, maybe for the quarter 4, that'd be great. Who knows? We'll get some info soon, I'm sure. Next up, we have when is Morrow going to fix marine control? Morrow, please, more duck.
Is that from Aggression?
This is from Indubitably My Dear on Reddit with a Kitty Roaster tag.
I don't know. The map is fine, man. It was like as a small little thing I did, and we had some fun, and let's move along.
Mhm. There is a hint that there's going to be a StarCraft 2 tournament at DreamHack Summer from the DreamHack Twitter that is not part of the open circuit. Could it be a Legacy of the Void beta invitational tournament? Otherwise, what kind of tournament would you like to see? Chris.
I think that would be the most likely, or just a regular HUTS tournament if they get their viewership that they require. What I would prefer, I think a Legacy of the Void tournament, whether it's beta, would be a lot of fun. Even if it's like lower prize money, and Sweden/Europe has enough good players that people would be willing to travel to DreamHack to compete, I feel. You know? Like I'm sure Morrow would go to a DreamHack tournament even if it was like, what's a normal DreamHack, like 25K or something?
Mhm.
I want to say.
Yeah.
If it was like 15K, 10K, I'm sure you would still travel and go if you could, right, Morrow?
Maybe depends on many Koreans.
Well, if it's 10K, I
Well,
don't
if
think
it's
Koreans
lower
would be-
money,
yeah.
then less Koreans are going to be wanting to go. You know?
Yeah.
All right, next
Like
up.
the plan is for me to go to Copenhagen, which is like at the end of the month, and that's like 6K
Oh,
price pool.
nice. Well, let's hope no Koreans go besides for GG. What was one of the weirdest rule you had to obey to participate in a tournament? I'm talking about stuff like only being allowed to drink the stuff a sponsor produced or not use your own gear or something like that. Let's go with Morrow.
Man, it's really hard. Like, I need a minute to think, because it's really hard to think of something here. What
Yeah,
one do you have?
I don't even know what to say, to be honest. It would be like I'm sponsored by Monster when I go to Red Bull tournaments. Obviously, I can't be like drinking from my Monster can like constantly on stream or something. I've never been told like you really can't do something too extreme. Like when I play at WCS ESL, they don't want anything on the table to be seen. So if I have like a Monster can, they say to put it down beside me because they're kind of affiliated with Red Bull. And that's just a lot of the times what is recommended. Like if I'm sponsored by a certain headset thing, they say like wear soundproof instead. Um, Probably the weirdest is when I played in GSL and we could wear our own headphones, but because it conflicted with one of GSL's sponsors, they didn't want us to wear our headphones. And then it was like an argument. There's been a few times with a few tournaments where either for myself or on my teammates' behalf, like Puma, I had to tell them like you have to let him wear this headset, and then I had to call like EG staff and then have them call like a certain tournament organizer and say like argue for them. So that's happened a few times, but nothing unreasonable or extreme. It's not like you get into like a heated argument or anything. It's just like I understand what you're saying, but we have to wear this, even if it conflicts with your sponsorship. So
For me,
Yeah.
the weirdest one was in China when I went for WCG. You had like to raise your hand to go to the bathroom. Like you weren't allowed to like stand up. You had to stay seated.
I've had that a few times where they've told us to, and they've tried, and I'm at the point where I'll just say like, oh okay, and then I'll just leave because there's no physical. It's like sometimes at tournaments, especially Koreans, they're too shy and they're too nice. But I'll be at a tournament, and I'll be like, man, I'll get a translator or whatever, and they'll say like he's really upset because he wanted to go to the bathroom, and they said that he couldn't, he needed to play his games. Like if I say I need to go to the bathroom, or like we need you to get into lobby and start the game, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to the bathroom.
Mhm.
What are they gonna do? They realistically will never. They would be crazy to forfeit you for going to the bathroom. What the fuck would they say publicly? Like, yeah, sorry, HuK's matches are forfeited because he had to go to the bathroom. Everybody would be like, "Are you crazy?" Same thing with the Korean. Can you imagine a Korean in, like the quarterfinals, and then they're like, "Yeah, we had to DQ Hyun because he needed to use the bathroom." It just won't fucking happen.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
players like if you gotta go to the bathroom or you need to get a drink or whatever, just do it. As long as it's not unreasonable, just do it. Even if they say no, because
Mhm.
whatever.
Bunny just wrecked both Sulky and Hyun and Fragbad Master without dropping a map. Will he finally be accepted as the best foreigner?
I still think Snoot's better, but I don't know. He's the best foreign Terran as far as I know.
Get traded, Morrow.
I wasn't really a contender, to be honest. But
Aww. Pat.
yeah, I think if anything, Bunny has been doing worse lately. He's not been playing as well as he used to. I think he was the best foreigner in 2014, but lately I think he's been falling off, at least from the games I've seen him playing. Not speaking of results at all, just my personal opinion.
Mhm. Question for everyone. Do you think the dominance of the Korean scene in the last 1-2 years, the decline of viewers in StarCraft? Chris?
What was the
Can you ask-
question?
Yeah, can you say it again?
Do you think the dominance of Koreans in the tournaments in the last year or two is one of the reasons for the decline of viewers in StarCraft?
Yeah, you could say that. I think if foreigners were doing better and there was a huge rivalry between foreigners and Koreans and it was fucking equal, or even we had like a shining hope, the viewership would be better. Though I think it would like totally change the viewership and all of a sudden, DreamHack would have 250,000 viewers. No. But Yeah, anytime there's closer competition, there's people you can cheer for. I think rivalries in esports is a really big impact. Whether it between me and Idra, or Nanawa Stefano, or Nanawa Nesti, or even any foreigner against any Korean that can compete, I think it's a huge thing. As long as people can get behind someone, have a reason to cheer for them. You know, people are fans of me, fans of Nanawa, fans of Stefano, fans of Idra, and you go up against any rival, white person or Korean, they're gonna tune in to watch that. You know, so it does drive viewership for sure. But I don't know what degree he would be actually asking about.
What about you, Morrow?
Yeah, I think it's like for sure one of the biggest reasons. It's just so boring to watch like Koreans at every single tournament. Like I think most people here would have been more interested in the foreigner scene if we actually like gave foreigners some respect. It's, like for the last year or the year before that, we've been getting better recently, but it's always like when you talk about foreigners, like they're so bad and Koreans are so much better. We're hearing, have you seen like Thorin's
But
VOD where he like talked about,
Thorin's a
and he
fucking
said like, oh, we need to know like who's really good and who's shit. So you take like these foreigners, they're shit, right? And the Koreans are
Thorin.
really good. Like you need
I
to
really,
write labels.
I really liked Rhett's post in that thread, where it was basically saying Rhett said something to the degree of Thorin is the guy that knew nothing about Brood War, was never involved in the scene. Then we came into StarCraft 2, talked a lot of shit, claimed that he came from Brood War. No one knows who the fuck he was in Brood War. No one even knew he was in the scene. He took whatever the popular opinion was about Brood War and took it and saying like, "Oh, I'm a Brood War elitist. I love that game so much." And then he was good friends with Nanawa and saw Nanawa was kind of BM and disagreeing with certain people. So he took that attitude and then just you know Brood War elitist Nanawa. That was his persona. And to be honest, the guy never. I don't even know if he fucking played a StarCraft 2 game in his life. I doubt he knows what's going on when he watches a game. Let's be honest
Anyway,
here.
it's like my point is like a lot of people have, been going by that kind of mentality that because Koreans are better, foreigners are just terrible. Whenever you see a foreigner play, like oh he's so bad, and even when listening to casters, it's often like oh these foreigners they do mistakes and that's why the other guy won. Whereas with Koreans, it's like oh but he's so good that's why he won. It's like the whole
What?
mentality is just turned kind of wrong. And that's why I think like people don't enjoy watching foreigners as much. It's just because people have been shit talking foreigners so much.
It's
But
it's
to be honest, I think like foreigners are good enough to produce amazing games, and I think like WCS they're learning now that region lock and all that stuff is really good for the scene. But maybe it's just too late. Like
it
people want to see Koreans now because everyone has been saying forever you foreigners are unable to watch, like they're too bad and so on. But I don't think that's true.
it's because of the way it was handled as far as tournament formats. What happened, like when you this is the biggest comparison I always make, is the LoL scene and the StarCraft 2 scene. The LoL scene, Chinese and Korean players are by far better than foreign players. Almost to the same degree as StarCraft 2, if not. But at the same time, the LoL scene is very, very segregated. They have the North American LCS, the EU LCS, and then the Korean LCS. And they play each other like from each region maybe like once or twice every year. So they don't constantly have the Koreans and the Chinese beating the shit out of them every single event. When you look at us, StarCraft 2 scene, you have every tournament, DreamHack, IEM, you have every WCS before the region lock, and now that's why you see the viewership for WCS being better because we're seeing the rivalry starting to build up again between foreign players, and people like watching that. But at the same time, even like fucking Fragbite Masters, like some weird online tournament where Koreans have to play from Korea to EU lag, they still play in that. So it's just a difference in scene. When you're used to seeing Koreans constantly beating foreigners, you have less to cheer about because it's like fucking demoralizing. But in the LCS scene, it's like, man, TSM, they've been doing really good this year. Did you see they're 12-3 in their league or whatever. I think they have a shot against the Koreans. Nope. they get fucked again by the Koreans every single year. But people build up hope every single year because they don't have that Korean dick being inserted all fucking year. So they think maybe this year
Yeah.
TSM will win Korea, like the world championship or whatever. But we don't get that hope. We don't get that BlizzCon hope because there's no segregation.
Yeah. I think StarCraft 2 could have been in so much better like situation. We'd have much more viewers if we never took that route, you know, go on about getting Koreans to every single event and you know whatever with the foreigners and so on. That mentality is just so stupid in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, fucking Cats made a video about that like in 2011 and he got shot on. And then little did we know Cats was the prophet. What are your feelings on Naniwa being snubbed on Remax this week and not being on the show? God damn it, why do I keep reading questions and then there's a fucking kappa at the end?
You gotta read it and then like while I'm talking or Morrow's talking,
Yeah,
look for
but
the
I
next
just
question.
I tuned it I checked last. Yeah, it was. Anyway, what shampoo does Morrow use? By Kelliser.
We can skip that one. I don't even know.
Okay.
We're done with questions. Move on to something else.
There's just nothing else to talk about.
And my shoutouts.
Hold on. Let's see. Maybe the Patreon. Hey. Okay. Hold on. We're gonna have a Patreon call in, man. Make that money. Let me just drag him in. Okay. I'm very slow. Sorry. Struggling. Okay. Here he is.
Hello.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, everything's fine, thank you. Yeah, so this week's question is, you already talked a lot about Legacy and that Blizzard needs to hurry up releasing it because they lose a lot of momentum with all the events, not being sure whether to hold an event or not. And I wondered if it still comes out this year, how they're going to do it with BlizzCon, and it will interfere with WCS for sure. So do you think that they will strictly keep it with the 3 seasons, or yeah?
I talked about this before, even with Blizzard, is basically they have to make a choice to release it before WCS Season 3 or they gotta wait until next year. You can't have a situation where you release Legacy of the Void after Season 3 and then you're like, all right, all these people that qualified through Heart of the Swarm, BlizzCon's gonna be Legacy of the Void, have fun. You know, just doesn't make sense. I think the only possibility, as far as what I've heard and what I think will happen, is they'll either release it before WCS Season 3, and then we'll play Legacy of the Void for WCS Season 3 and BlizzCon, or they'll wait until next year. I think it'll be a huge mistake if they wait until next year, but that choice isn't up to me, so...
And do you think that's a viable option, to have it for Season 3 only, and then for BlizzCon?
I think it is, yes. I think, although the games will be very different, someone that's very good in Heart of the Swarm is still going to be very good in Legacy of the Void.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Do you think we will see some Legacy at the end of Season 1 at Gamers Assembly, or whatever it's called?
Like official release or beta or what?
No, like if they announce some alpha or beta. So.
Beta is supposed to be coming out. It's rumored. Obviously, it's not known for sure, but I think it's very credible. Towards the end of this month or the beginning of next month.
Well, that's when the final is, so maybe they will announce it after the final, you know? That could be...
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
that's something that they could do.
Would make sense.
Yeah.
Also, you talked about DreamHack with them having so few events. Wouldn't it be possible for like DreamHack Winter to still hold a Legacy event? Because they don't know when it comes out yet, but it would make sense for them, no?
Well, beta tournaments just generate a lot of views. It doesn't matter if it's not
not beta. I mean, if it's out for Season 3, as we just said, and it's already out for winter as well.
it's possible, but I don't know. I think DreamHack could very reasonably go to Blizzard and say, we need to know what the time lengths you're working with here, so that we could plan around maybe having Legacy, and Blizzard would be willing to at least tell them some information. But it's possibly that DreamHack's waiting to see what the viewership's like. You know, if Legacy comes out, it's a great game, everybody loves it, everybody's playing the beta, and everybody's getting like a shit ton of viewers, then
Yeah.
Then you didn't finish your thought because you're reading Twitter.
I got links. I'll link this to you guys. Well, no, because it's relevant to this discussion.
Okay, what's the link?
Basically, added BZX posting on the thread says, hard to announce tournaments for a game with no release date. I am hoping it will be released in time for DreamHack Winter. So basically, he's
Yeah, I read
hinting
this.
at that if it is released, that they will.
Okay.
Weird that Blizzard is not giving them enough information. I mean,
Well, they probably haven't
So
made their
yeah,
mind.
I guess I'm wrong. I was saying, well, I think if DreamHack asked Blizzard, they would let him know, but I guess Blizzard is not. So that's kind of shitty, but
All right.
okay, let's get the Scion hype train going.
No. All right. Thank you so much for your call. Have a good week, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, you too. Bye.
bye.
All right, guys. That wraps up Remax episode 31. Before we do the shoutouts, I'd like to give a special shout out to Nightfolio, Lucid, Zealous Zam for being Patreon, Pylons, Overlords, and Supply Depots. You guys support us like our supply. And let's start with Morrow, who doesn't seem impressed at all. Just all right, Morrow, what are your shoutouts?
Well, thank you again for inviting me on the
Yes.
show. It was fun.
You're the only one that will come on. Don't take it too.
Yeah,
too well.
I'm starting to think that's the case. It's like, that's why you burned too many bridges, man. I'm gonna have to like charging you guys if you want me on the show. I have the monopoly. Anyway, shout out to my team, Team Property, and I don't think I will be streaming tomorrow, but
This week.
soon I'll get to start streaming again regularly at Twitch / Morrow, and that's it.
All right. Yeah, Morrow, I invite you because you're fun to hang out, and it gives great highlights for YouTube as well. So, by the way, if you guys haven't checked our highlights, just go to youtube.com/desRowfighting. HuK, what are your shoutouts?
Shout out to Morrow for coming on the show. Shout out to desRow for being so good at doing this Remax when I've been mostly hard to work with the last few weeks. Other than that, hopefully my life gets better soon, and then I'll stream more and exercise more and be more healthy. That's it.
Yeah. For me, I'll be doing my weekly tournament on Saturday. Co-caster not announced yet. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to vote for us for Remax. You can also check out our Patreon. You know, if your grandma dies and you end up with a lot of money, you could be a guest on the show. You can make it happen. Just go to our Patreon page and check out the perks.